Well, Shannon, we've got a rare opportunity on our hands here today because it's rare we get an opportunity to sit down and just talk tech in a bit of a special like tech time with Shannon.
Face to face.
Face to face too, in one of our studios, no less, not
Yep.
in the confines of our bedroom.
Yep.
We get to do this today with a special thanks to ASUS and their new ROG Strix Scar 18 laptop, which you have had the privilege of being able to spend a bit of time with recently. We've got it in front of ourselves right here, in the studio too, and I've not yet had nearly as much of a play with it as I'd like, but just looking at it and seeing you poke around some of its menus and stuff as well, I'm like immediately jealous, particularly sat opposite with you with my little iPad mini right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm eager to kind of have a bit more of a discussion today, not just around the laptop in particular, but your thoughts on kind of the PC gaming space at the moment, and kind of the involvement that AI is having in it too. So real geeky talk that Brody and James would never let us have.
Yeah.
But here we are in a special segment. So
over.
thanks again to ASUS for that. First of all, though, seeing as you've got it in front of us here, I'm eager to ask you about it. The ROG Strix Sky 18 laptop. What's notable about this laptop? What kind of sets it apart?
I think definitely the thing, like I'm sure you can tell just by looking at it, is like there are nothing spared with this laptop. Like it is a beast. It is high end in every sense. Like obviously 5090, the 18-inch display, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
LEDs on the back, which I don't know why you would need that, but you would love to have it,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So that is just the number one thing. Like if you want the best gaming laptop on the market in terms of every single spec, like this is the beast for you.
We're going to have to get the video version of this out, so I think so people can see that like LED panel in the back, but I've seen you also share videos of it too, and it's in the article on the website. But yeah, such like a cool little feature. Have you I presumably you can customize that?
You can. I think you can put images, you can put your own GIFs on it. So whatever you want to do, or you can just like have the time or battery or like CPU, GPU information. Like it's really customizable, which is great because like it's nothing without the software to back it up.
And I saw you play a bit of Spider-Man on there before. I take it you've played a few different games on there, kind of given it a run for its money.
100%. Like everything. I think that the number one thing with laptops is like they've always ran AAA games, but like normally you have to dial things back. Like with this,
you compromise a little bit.
With this, I had everything cranked up. Like Cyberpunk 2077, you can put it in ray tracing overdrive at ultra, and it doesn't miss a beat. Like you're utilizing the display to its full capacity.
I kind of get the sense that if you rocked up at a LAN party with this, you'd be kind of like gods amongst men. It's like you've not spared any expense here.
100%.
You've really got all the bells and whistles. The screen's HDR too, right?
It is. It's Nebula HDR. I think it's their brightest display ever. Yeah, you can tell. I don't know if you can see it on the screen here, but even just looking at this background, I don't even know if HDR is turned on, but it is super vibrant.
Yeah.
Which is important for a laptop and an 18-inch screen. I think.
Given like it's portable, you're taking it out. Maybe you're going for a lovely picnic in the park and taking your gaming laptop
Why
with
not?
you as well.
100%.
That brightness is important. Cool. We've already covered off a lot about that, but I suppose we're touching on some of the kind of like portability aspects of it too. I know you're no stranger to handheld gaming PCs. I think you've got an ROG Ally as well, so another ASUS product too. What do you think the advantages of something like this is over one of those handheld gaming PCs?
I think, again, I think they're totally different. Like, ASUS has been really upfront with the fact that, like, this is not meant to be something that you take with you absolutely everywhere. Like, it's portable in the sense
as much as I would.
It's portable in the sense you can bring it into the office or take it with you overseas. But, like, it is a workstation. Like, it is a beast. So I guess your ASUS ROG Ally is, like, meant to just be chucked in your bag wherever you're going.
Yeah.
I think that the benefit of this is you can just use it 24/7 as your main station without a monitor attached to it. If you want to work or video edit, or like I know so many people now are creatives that game, but also video edit during the day, or I guess everyone's just making TikToks now. So this is like your all-in-one that you're going to pay for, but you're then going to be able to use for absolutely everything with no holds barred.
Yeah. Yeah, in a past life, I used to work in an animation studio, and they all had gaming laptops despite, you know, working with Blender and After Effects and all this sort of thing, but because of that power and portability. And I think they would have been pretty envious of this piece of kit, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think putting myself in like that sort of, in those sort of shoes too, like I do like the kind of ultra portability of that, but there is an inherent trade-off, right? Like you're not getting max specs on those games.
100%.
Whereas like I feel like this would rival my desktop PC at home, albeit I'm not slinging that in my backpack.
I reckon it'd beat it.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is like battery as well. Like obviously you can only fit so much battery in a handheld where like
true.
The surface area of this and the fact that it is bigger means you can slot a really good battery in it.
Yeah, and we've got it plugged in just now because we thought we might run some games on it as well. Maybe we do that after the after this recording. But yeah, you're surprised just turning it on this morning. You still had battery life, so presumably you're pretty happy with that.
I think that, and I'm sure again ASUS wouldn't mind us saying that like battery life in Windows gaming PCs has been like one of the areas that has been a letdown. I was actually really impressed, especially with the RTX 50 series laptops, like how long they do last. I think because we're using more of that AI generated frames and like the CPUs are a lot more power efficient. Like it lasts hours, like whilst with everything cranked. So again, you're not going to get 18 hours if you're playing Cyberpunk at Ray Tracing Overdrive, but similarly, you're not going to get half an hour. You're going to get hours out of it.
Yeah. No, very cool. You mentioned there a little bit like the AI side of things, or at least with the 5000 series NVIDIA graphics cards. This has a pretty special CPU in it too, though, as well. Like, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Intel Core Ultra 9. God, some of these names are really tongue twisters, but yeah, I think it's just all about power efficiency now. Like we've kind of, not that we've reached the power limit, but now it's like, how can we sort of maximize what we have and like get more out of the battery, get more out of what's there? How can we utilize AI so that we're not running everything on board? And that is the case for both the Intel CPU and the GPU. And I guess laptops do this really clever thing now where they like go back to the CPU if they don't need the GPU, so you're not using that and can just use CPU for less intensive tasks.
Yeah.
So it is still really important, the CPU, but yeah, I think AI is just enhancing performance and efficiency.
Yeah, and that power efficiency would be like particularly useful in the kind of more portable market as opposed to your kind of home desktop PC under your desk,
100%.
right?
Again, performance is important, but I think in portable devices, like efficiency is just as important.
Yeah, and that seems to be more of a trend that we're seeing kind of in all devices that kind of come to market as well. We've been talking about the Switch 2 as well, 100%. Right? Like lots of efficiency gains in there. So
it's all about the trade-off of performance versus efficiency. Yeah, I think we're finding that really nice balance now.
Yeah, I guess selfishly, it's why I like having these conversations with you, because like in the PC space and like what ASUS are doing with this, right? Like it's kind of more at the cutting edge of that. Like we kind of see that technology kind of come through in the PC market first before it then maybe comes across to consoles.
And
not always true, but I think very true at the moment.
Yeah, if you're a handheld gamer, like if you're a Switch gamer and you're picking up something like this, like that is when you really see like, wow, how much power is in this laptop? Because being able to play like Spider-Man 2, The Last of Us Part 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Cyberpunk, like you can just load anything, maximize it, and it just runs so battery smooth and it looks so incredible, even compared to like the PS5, to be honest.
Yeah, very cool. All right, let's chat about like AI and the NVIDIA 50. Remind me again, there's a 5090 in this?
It is a 5090 laptop, which is a little bit less beefy.
Yeah, shaved off a little bit, but I'd have thought when you're dealing with 5090s, it's all pretty nuts.
100%. Yeah, like I just touched on, I think, again, I know multi-frame gen, there's been a little bit of...
DLSS 4 and stuff. I wanted to ask you about 100%. That's all the new tech that's on this.
The tech that's in the desktop version of the 50 series is in this, and I do think, again, you really benefit from that. I know that there is a conversation to be had around like AI generated frames, but I just think being able to turn that on, again, you're really utilizing the smaller chip in this, and like it feels like a desktop GPU, which is important, I think.
And I know it's a talking point, like multi-frame gen, like a lot of the kind of improvement gains that we've seen in this generation of graphics card are kind of down to the involvement of AI and it kind of, I suppose, like filling in the gaps between some frames and using some of that kind of generative functionality to kind of imagine what those frames are.
Yeah.
People's concern has been like, well, how accurate is it kind of getting the image? Are you seeing some visual sort of quirks, that kind of thing? And we've already seen that a little bit with the kind of technology that's come. This is the latest iteration of it. Are you like noticing anything kind of quirky or funky as you're playing these games? Does anything ever stand out?
I'm not. I think it was a little bit buggy like pre-launch, like with the original desktop GPUs. But now that I've had a really good play with this, I think it's really been ironed out, and obviously support's rolling out on a lot more games. So it does just feel similarly to how DLSS was originally. Like it was a little bit clunky and like wasn't in a lot of games at first. But I really, unless you're playing like Marvel Rivals or something really competitive, CSGO or something, and you, I guess, need that refresh rate to be as good as it possibly is. I think if you're playing a story-driven game, like you just turn it on and forget that it's on. That's in saying that, without multi-frame gen, you're still going to get 60 to 100 frames. It's just to push to that like 250, you do need to use multi-frame gen, and I think it's worth it.
Yeah, and I guess it depends on what you want, right? Like, do you really obsess over like a higher frame rate? I tend to lean a little bit more that way myself.
Yeah.
So I reckon I'd be tempted to kind of switch it on and try and gun for like 100 plus sort of frames. You don't need to. I'm pretty content getting a little bit of extra sort of fidelity in the game and like sitting at 60. Like I'm playing a bit of Clair Obscur at the moment, and that's kind of more the direction I'm leaning.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can imagine if you are pushing it like 100 plus frames, 200 plus frames, whatever we're sort of saying, like in motion, it's like one thing to do a freeze frame or a slow motion these frames and pick apart every little bit of artifacting, but I can imagine like in motion it's very hard to notice like any like weird quirk in the
I mean, I'm like technical, but I'm not like the most insane PC gamer that would notice it. There's not enough that the average person would notice. And again, it's literally a menu setting, so you turn it off, you turn it on. And again, it's about finding that balance. Like some games will be great with just general frame gen. Some games you might want to crank up to 3 or 4.
Yeah. Can you see yourself? I'm curious. I'm going off script already here, but given you're kind of like you've got this PC now in the house and you've been dabbling kind of more in the PC space, are you like more inclined to spend a bit more time PC gaming as opposed to console? What do you kind of see as the pros and cons?
It's such a hard balance. Like every time I jump on a PC to play a game, like even like Spider-Man and The Last of Us, like it does amaze me just how good they look and how smooth they are.
Yeah.
But then for me, it's like I work on a PC like 12 to 14 hours a day. So
so scene change is nice.
Yeah.
Like you could get that with a portability.
That's why probably a laptop is more in that way, because I can just play it on the couch or in bed or at a table rather than like sit at my traditional setup.
Or in the office, as you said. You brought it in today.
100%. That's what all we're going to do today. I definitely think it's more viable now than ever.
Yeah. Back to AI. Do you think it's here to stay? Like it's kind of a buzzword at the moment. We're seeing it integrate with a lot of products. I feel like half the time it's maybe just to appease shareholders.
Yeah.
But do you think at the moment it's kind of living up to a hype? Can you see the tech continuing to progress? And we'll see more of it in products like the ROG Strix Scar you've got here.
I 100% think when it comes to like performance and like generating frames and processing, like it's here. It's here to stay. It's always been here. Like it's accelerating faster than ever. I don't think that's a fad in the way that like your image generation is. And I think like we're seeing Nintendo come out and like really leverage that and actually talk about it and how it's improved their gaming and graphical fidelity. So I do think that's here to stay. I don't think Nvidia is going to move away from it or any of these other big brands. And for as long as they're pushing it, it's going to be here to stay. I think it'll become less of a buzzword and just what it is in the tech, to be honest. Which I think is good, because I don't think it needs to be the selling point. I don't think that means anything to the end consumer. It's like, how does that actually impact your daily life and improve it?
Yeah. And I suppose like AI really is just like a term that's kind of being like kind of branding
and
all of
that
this,
is the problem, right? Like it's become a marketing term, even though it's not really a new thing.
It's more just like, machine learning. Like algorithmic sort of driven processes, that sort of thing, right?
It's scary, and I think it has become a negative thing, but I do think in the sense of like tech and gaming and processing, like the more that we're generating without using like actual energy is good. And then there's like conversations around that as well. I think it'll iron out and we'll find a good balance of what uses AI and what doesn't.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a different case, I guess, when it's like on machine like this, right? And it's got the power it needs to kind of function on device.
100%.
Which I think is really cool. And I know we are here talking about gaming, but I'm personally very excited about like the productivity benefits of that too, which we touched on earlier.
100%.
Excellent. I think we're kind of about covered off some of the deeper sort of topics 100%. That I wanted to get into then about like AI. Let's just close off by chatting about this product once again, the ROG Strix Scar 18. You've had a bit of time with it. What are the kind of features that really kind of like are the most compelling, do you think, about this laptop? And who would you might recommend it to if they've listened into this, found that the AI tech all super interesting?
I definitely think if you are someone that wants like a laptop with everything and you're not going to think, oh, I should have got that with X, Y, and Z, like this is the laptop for you, just because everything from the display to the keyboard to RGB all around the bottom to give it that floating effect to the keyboard to the LEDs on the front is a lot of it something you absolutely need to survive? Probably not, but if you're someone that just wants the best of the best, this is it in a laptop.
Yeah, and looking at it from the first time now, like I'm on the record like complaining about like the garishness of some kind of gaming tech. this isn't that. Like, I think this is like a pretty clean sort of integration. I love like the way that you can kind of just customize that LED panel in the back, and that that floating, like, it reminds me of people like mod their cars, and they have.
Yeah.
I think it's illegal actually, but you see those like custom jobs where it's like it has the LED on the ground, looks like it's levitating. It's got that sort of vibe to it.
Yeah,
I
mean it's a beast of a laptop. Like, there's no point shying away from that, but it's still understated, and you can just turn it off or turn it up. With Armory Crate, which again, if you've used an ASUS ROG Ally, you know that software is pretty great and customizable, and you can set it to like when you're gaming, when you're not, when X, Y, and Z. Like, it's very
right. Okay, so is that kind of like it lets you control the cooling of it?
100%.
As well, like fan curves and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Very, very fun. I like messing with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Shannon, this has been great. Like I said earlier, I don't think we would ever really get this opportunity with Brody and James. They never let us waffle on for like 10, 15 minutes, however long it's been, about tech. So big thank you to ASUS and the ROG Strix Sky 18 for giving us this opportunity to really have an extended tech time with Shannon.
100%.
Yeah, be sure to head to ASUS's website. You can check out more information, including all the specs and features of the laptop. But you've also done a review over on the site. You've got plenty of videos and images in there as well, including some of the games in action on it too, which I might ask you to give me a demo of after we close up the record.
For work purposes, of course.
Yeah, for work purposes, of course, yeah. I've got no report writing to do later today, it's fine. Yeah, so do go and check out the website for all of that. You'll find that all there. But until next time, that's been about it for this little bonus segment.
Yes.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.